Good morning, minions, and welcome to another episode of No More Mr. Fat Guy TV. Now, as you know, we've been recently progressing through the alphabet, and this week takes us to the letter G. And again, I sort of spent some time trying to think what I might talk about, trying to think what letter, or what word rather, I could actually pick. And I've kind of gone with one that's a little bit of a cliche, I guess, for anything to do with personal development. If you read, particularly a lot of the law of attraction type stuff, a lot of that material, they mention gratitude an awful lot. And so I thought what I'd do is I wouldn't just try out the same thing, because I don't actually believe necessarily 100% exactly the same things as what you might read. I just kind of put my spin on it, I guess, and just give a sort of two-parter really. I think. The first part being what I think it isn't, and then maybe what I think it is, and probably a whole load of other random stuff along the way that I just make up, because yet again, completely unscripted, and the actual subject was only finally chosen probably about 10 minutes before I started recording this. And so let's get that rolling then. Let's start with what I think it is, or rather in terms of the way gratitude and the idea of being grateful is sort of bandied about. I think there's this basic thing that we've got as a species or as a society where I think it's wrapped up in the there's an expression, I'm not sure exactly what the expression is, but no matter how bad things are for you, there's always somebody worse off than you type, that kind of sentiment that basically to my way of thinking, that's a pretty negative use of the idea of gratitude. The negative being that you should always be grateful, because at least your lot in life isn't as bad as that poor sucker over there. Now, that may have in logical sense, there may have to be an element of truth to that. It may, in pure cold terms, you might kind of go, yeah, well, that you can't argue that isn't the case. But that really just turns us into people that go around looking in a way for the poor souls that will make us feel better. So I'm very uncomfortable with that kind of idea. I really don't like sort of that use and that whole concept really. And then the other side of that, or similar to that, is that this idea of I think it's a misinterpretation sometimes when there's this idea that, and I'm not opposed to the idea at all. I think it's a fantastic idea. You wake up each morning, perhaps, or as a part of your daily ritual, or just part of your life is to actually to be grateful. I mean, just to be grateful for the things that you've got. But the way that seems to get interpreted is that, or the danger that can have the interpretation of really sort of being happy with your lot in life, and just basically finding everything in your life that you can be grateful for and that you can be happy for, and somehow that magically will make your life better, because you just suddenly instead of having dreams, instead of having goals, instead of having desires, instead of wanting to improve and to develop yourself and to achieve things, is that that there's a certain element of, well, this is it, this is what you're born into. Be grateful for it, and have a look around at the just be grateful for being alive. There are people that are not alive this morning. Be grateful for your health, because there are people that are sick. Be grateful that you've got food, because there are people that are starving. But they're all valid points, but the way they get applied, I think, has this sort of negative side. I think we need to, if we really want to tap into the power of gratitude, and I believe that there is some power in it. And I think that all these authors and all these speakers that talk about it, they're not doing it, because they're not creating some conspiracy where they're all going to talk about it. There is some value to it. But the way it sort of gets presented, I guess, presented to the masses, or the way that it gets interpreted, I don't know what it is, but we've got to get away from that idea that we just be grateful for for what we've got, and sort of muddle on and be happy with that, because that's stifling, and that kills personal development, and that kills any notion of wanting to achieve more. So that's kind of like, that's the negative side. I don't want to bang on about that too much, but that's my take on that. In terms of being more positive about the idea, there's an awful lot to be said for the power of positive thinking in general, and not just the thinking. I think if we get down to the core, we go back to what we were talking about last week with feelings. Really, it's the way that or the way that it seems that you actually achieve things, and the way that you can actually bring a lot more excitement, adventure, and opportunity into your life, is to actually approach life with that positive mindset, and to actually approach life feeling happy and feeling grateful. Finding things in your life that actually that do make you feel good, and then taking those feelings and letting them build up and build up and build up, and knowing that that's how you actually want to feel, and knowing that that's the kind of experience you want of life, and then that actually then leads on to or just naturally and automatically seeking out those opportunities and the people and the circumstances and the events that will continue to give more, continue to give you more of that. And I think that's really that's the power of gratitude. When you wake up, if you wake up in the one that people talk about a lot is like waking up in the morning and just going through, before you get out of bed or whatever, that you go through the things that you're grateful for. That's fantastic. That'll get you started off on the right foot in the day. You'll get out of bed, you'll be feeling incredibly happy, incredibly blessed, and what a great attitude to take forward into your day. But that's the point then, is that you take that and you use those feelings, and you use that sort of positive mindset and that positive approach to actually to end up with a productive day. Or not, you don't end up with a massively productive, successful day every single day, but you're going to have small successes, and you're going to achieve more every day. Or even if achieving is just the fact that you face a bad day, you've got a tough day at work, or you've got personal situation to deal with, or you've got a family crisis, whatever, that you're taking that sort of that gratitude and those feelings and that happiness and that positivity into your day, and it enables you to deal with it, and you come out the other side, and you've basically dealt with it, and you've still got that positive mindset in place. The world hasn't beaten you today. It's you've not been dragged down, and you continue onwards and upwards, and just keep on going, and you don't get knocked off course. Basically, just don't let circumstances, don't let life, don't let events. These things are temporary. Nothing's permanent. Nothing is permanent. I mean, even a human life is not permanent. It's a fixed number of years. It feels like a long time to us, but it's a very short period of time in the terms of how long the planet's been in existence. We're just a blip. So nothing's permanent. Everything's temporary, and so if you get bad days, and that positive mindset, and those feelings of gratitude and those feelings of happiness, and just all those positive feelings that you do generate within yourself will keep you going through that. And then we get the good, when you get a good day, where you're actually facing, you're getting opportunities. I mean, if you've got if you're already grateful for things that are that are already in your life, and you're already feeling good about life, and you're already in that sort of like that positive sort of place, when opportunities come along, you'll be able to identify them, you'll be able to spot them, and you'll be able to embrace them with, and grab them with both hands. And that's really how I think this law of attraction type stuff kind of works, because you do get some amazing things happening, to be honest. You end up with conversations, and you get little opportunities cropping up that you just think, wow, that's just an amazing coincidence. But half the battle, or three quarters, or more, is actually being aware of that and being open, having that open mind, and that positive mind that enables you to basically spot an opportunity when it comes along. Just spot, even if it could just be a small sort of slight change in direction that you need to take, or just a chance conversation that you've got the potential. You suddenly get the opportunity to talk to somebody for 30 seconds, somebody that's influential, or somebody that turns out to be a key component of where you're going and what you're setting out to achieve. These little things crop up, and unless you've got that positive approach, and unless you're sort of going into your everyday with that kind of feeling inside you, then you'll be closed off to it. You'll miss them, and so that's why I think it's fantastic to wake up every morning and to count your blessings. I think that's the old expression. To be grateful, wake up in the morning, be grateful that you're alive, be grateful that you got your health, be grateful you got a house, be grateful you got food. Whatever it is you can find in your life to be thankful and grateful for, then do it. It'll make you feel good. But above all else, be grateful that you're capable of positive thinking. Be grateful that you have absolute control over your own destiny, and you'll be thanking yourself that you did that, and you'll be thanking yourself that you didn't approach life with that negative mindset, and you didn't close yourself off to opportunity. And you'll be glad that you watched this video. So on that note, it's probably time to wrap up. But look, don't get trapped into, just to sum up, don't get trapped in those the negative side of gratitude, where you just need to be grateful for what you got and shut up. That's kind of I think what the masses have been told for many years. So don't fall into that trap. But do tap into the power of feeling good about your life, because if you feel good about your life, if you feel good about yourself, and if you feel good about everything in your world, then you will attract more and more of that good stuff, and that can only be a good thing. So I'll speak to you next week. Bye now.